Thank you all for being on time and for going into first position during the first minute and being ready to go. And before we begin with the timer and the 333 anger, will you share what your purpose is for this particular 3 minutes of anger? My purpose is to go for as high a level, high intensity anger as I can, coming from my center.
My purpose is to explore how high I can go with not triggering my gremlin.
Thank you.
My purpose is to circulate my anger and to focus on that while during the process and after.
Thank you.
My purpose is to get past the emotional sadness that I'm feeling and to allow anger to come through.
Thank you, Leslie.
My purpose is to stay with my anger, even though I have levels of fear, because my situation is not like perfect with my child running around. And so I want to stay with my anger.
Cool. Thank you. And Anna, have you used your fear in some ways to create the container in your home there?
Yes, I told him what I'm about to do, so he knows. And still, I don't know how it goes. So I feel a bit of fear about that.
Cool. Great. Thank you. I will set a timer, and when the timer goes off, I will say stop. And if you also want to set a timer, great. But if that's not so feasible right now, no problem. And I invite you to get in position and move your device so that you can be seen, and keep your microphone on so you can be heard. And when you are ready to go, will you put up your thumb? I see you, Mikhail. I see you, Meredith. I see you, Leslie. I see you, Anna. And make sure you're centered. And in 4, 3, 2, 1, go! And stop. And stop. And stop. Turn your anger all the way down to 0. Close your lips. Let the energy circulate in your system. Notice what's happening.
Oh, no, stop it.
Feel your anger at home in your bones. When you're ready, make your way back to the screen. As you come back to the screen, bring your gold, gather it and bring it. And when you're ready, share it. I noticed when I started that I didn't start with my center, even though I had stated those reminders. I gave my center to keeping time and starting, and I feel joy because it was just a split second that I caught that my anger wasn't coming from my center, and then it was. And I heard myself say things that I don't think I've ever said before. Like, where are the captains of Team Gaia? I'm on your team. I want to see your projects. I want to show you mine. How can we collaborate? Thank you.
Thank you, Nicole.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nicole.
In the first minute, something like at the end of the first minute, I noticed I'm wearing myself out. The sensation was as if I was reproducing a pattern of anger that consists of sounds and movements I've learned. And I brought my anger down fully and began again. And it was then that my voice came, and I heard myself state that I take a stand for me being on this way of that way that is so different from my friends. And I heard myself taking a stand for that, and I fear that. Like after now remembering, I feel the fear of being that bold as the information of my anger is.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I noticed during the circulating of the anger at the end that there had been a knot in my stomach that released. And I noticed that I haven't, because I haven't been working with anger for a while now, it's just I cough, I can't sustain that the sounds, and I'm in my room, so I am self-conscious about the sound. So I held back on sound and words as well.
Thank you.
Thank you, Leslie.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I feel joy because I was sharing this space with my child. And normally we are fighting so much with going to bed and just doing things. And I used my joy to invite him in, and he just took a towel himself and also did 3 minutes of anger. And it felt just really like alive and us being here in the space. And it felt so easy to just do this together. And I'm really joyful about that. And in that, I noticed how I could access. Yeah, it's great. Thank you. Yeah, it's good. I could access like higher intensity of anger where I didn't go before. So I'm really glad about that as well. Yeah.
Thank you, Anna.
Thank you.
Will you go, Meredith?
Well, I see it's 4:16. And so I know you're transitioning to the next space, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Who will be staying for fear? Well, do you have any resistance to hearing Meredith's gold first? Go, Meredith.
I was practicing screaming from a different parts of my body. I've been damaging my voice a lot in the past few years with speaking from a different place. So I was trying to yell for my center, and I could really feel the different places that I was yelling from. So that's my goal today.
Wow, thank you.
Thank you.
Cool. Goodbye to
Thank you
anyone
for the
who is.
space.
Yeah, bye.
Goodbye.
Yeah, bye. Thank you.
Is there resistance to continuing to record? Thank you. My experiment for holding space for 333 fear is to skip the purpose part, because I myself am just learning how to do it, learning how to turn up my fear and have it be authentic and not go into pretending. And I guess I'm making the assumption that that's what everyone's doing with their fear. Is that accurate?
Yes.
It seems like such a unknown every time that I can't really have a purpose for it other than finding out what happens when I turn up my fear. Cool. So I invite you to get back into position, double check your first position, and again, put your thumb up when you're ready. See your thumb, Mikhail. Thank you. I see your thumb, Leslie. Starting in 3, 2, 1, go. And stop. Turn your fear all the way down, slowly, slowly. Notice how you do it. Notice how you turn your fear down without raising your numbness bar. Notice what happens in your system. And when you're ready, make your way back to the screen with what you've discovered. And share when you're ready and you get the impulse.
I noticed my sadness at the point where I reached the today's peak of my fear. There was sadness trying to come in as a form of solution. Like that's the way that seemed easier than to stay in fear.
Will you say that
Thank
another
you.
way?
I discovered that I have the tendency to switch into sadness when the intensity of my fear gets too high. And then the tears come and it's easier and almost numbing to go into sadness.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anything else?
No, thank you.
I did feel I felt shivering in my body, and it sounded to me like kind of like pain, like I was pulling up my knees, and I guess it felt semi-real, a little bit of pretending.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What I noticed was that at the very beginning, like there's the turning up my fear, it starts these big, like jerking, convulsing movements, and then I noticed that this is what I knew would happen, and then I felt scared that it was happening because I knew it would happen, and and I kind of looked again, like looked into me, like, really, how is this my fear? Is this? And my body went still, and I again was like, where is this dial even with which I turn up my authentic fear, my conscious fear? And it was, it was just like not even knowing how to look. And then again, kind of caught this fear that I don't know how to do this, and fear that there's a recording, and like, what the fuck am I doing? And so then I got a little bit of like more like a compass of like, oh yeah, that's fear, and then went there to again like try to figure out how do I turn that up. And it was as if I would suddenly find myself doing something else that wasn't turning up my fear, and then be scared that I don't know how to do this, and then have something else again to be like, oh, that. And when the timer went off, it seemed like I had only been doing it for a short amount of time. And then, as I was saying, turn down your fear without lowering or raising your numbness bar, again, I was like, I don't even know how to do that. Like, and I just, it seemed like I was doing it for the very first time again. And in there, I also was reminded of this Fear Club experiment where of standing on the edge of a chair as if it's the edge of a great big cliff, and like kind of conjuring the feeling of fear that way, and conjuring the feeling of fear by like connecting with the sense of like falling back into nothing. And it was like it wouldn't really work. I would get a little bit of a like, it's almost like a bit of smoke of authentic fear, and then nothing. And yeah, I feel sad because this seems like so elusive to really feel fear consciously, when I have the story that I have so much emotional fear in my system. And how does something different really happen than emotional fear?
Thank you.
Welcome.
Nicole.
Thank you for coming and experimenting and sharing. And will you share also in the Zoom in Crossroads group?
Yes, I will do it tomorrow.
I'm not sure.
Thank you. I look forward to feeling with you in future spaces.
Thank you.
Goodbye for now.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.